the log bundle is often a request by the Dell Support Services to help customers troubleshoot the system to help the designed solution meet expected results. Let's review an example of a question asked for this topic. What is the default location where CloudLink Center backs up its configuration data? Is it cloud storage, local desktop, object repository, or file system share? The correct answer is local desktop. PowerFlex Manager integrates CloudLink to provide node data protection. CloudLink Center is the management console for the operation of the node security. It installs agents on each PowerFlex cluster node to execute the authentication protection for the node. PowerFlex Manager works with the node agents to maintain the security, including upgrades to the agents. PowerFlex can also launch the CloudLink Center to configure new node protection or modify existing node agent configuration. The CloudLink Center current configuration information is backed up to the local desktop where CloudLink is installed. CloudLink Center is the console that establishes how each node in the PowerFlex cluster is configured. That node configuration data is backed up to the local desktop in case the need arises to reestablish the data in CloudLink Center. As such, it would be more complex to use cloud-based storage for the configuration data backup. The same complexity would apply to a file system share or where the object configuration data resides. Every Dell Technologies Proven Professional certification has a practice exam you can go through and review as many times as you wish. The practice exam questions are a good representation of the types of questions you'll find on the exam, as they were created in parallel to the certification questions themselves. Keep in mind there are a limited number of questions in the practice pool. If you continually go through it, you'll eventually be exposed to all the practice questions. Of course, the questions on the actual exam will be different, and you may be presented with questions in different formats, such as multiple choice or placing steps in the right order. The practice test is designed to provide you with an indication of your readiness and to help you identify areas that may require extra preparation. This exam is not just about memorizing facts, but demonstrating a comprehensive understanding of designing PowerFlex solutions. Now, let's review a variety of practice exam questions. Which PowerFlex solution has the minimal footprint but scales to hundreds of nodes? Is it PowerFlex Rack, PowerFlex Appliance, PowerFlex Software Only, or PowerFlex Custom Node? The correct answer is PowerFlex Appliance. This question is about the PowerFlex solutions commonly known as the PowerFlex platforms or products. Each of the PowerFlex products provides a distinct solution to a customer need and is the starting point for a PowerFlex 4 design. A question such as this is part of the certification exam designed to measure your ability to describe each of the PowerFlex products and deployment models. Knowing the PowerFlex products well is necessary to decide the deployment model needed. Also, how to configure the nodes and establish the function of the nodes, such as storage, compute, management, or file transfer. Knowing the specific PowerFlex product to design a solution allows you to handle the design of the networking needs as well. PowerFlex Appliance serves as a highly scalable and high-performance hyper-converged infrastructure building block for modern and cloud-native data center workloads. A flexible network architecture is a key value proposition of a PowerFlex appliance. PowerFlex Appliance is an engineered node system with optional full network automation when using supported Cisco Nexus switches or Dell PowerSwitch switches, or partial network automation when using customer-provided switches. With full network automation, PowerFlex Manager configures the node-facing ports on the customer network switches, if they are supported Dell switches. Partial network automation is used when you have customer network switches or a configuration node that's not supported by Dell. In this case, customers are responsible for configuring the node-facing ports along with the rest of their network. With all of these factors, PowerFlex Appliance offers the minimal footprint for a PowerFlex cluster with the ability to scale to hundreds of nodes. A user must make data available over the SMB protocol. Which software component must be used? Is it SDC, MDM, FSN, or SDT? The correct answer to this question is File Services Node, FSN. Each of the PowerFlex software components provide the virtual SAN services necessary for a hyperconverged software-defined storage. The FSN is a new software component in PowerFlex 4.x, offering the PowerFlex cluster the ability to offer data to client applications as files over file-based protocols. The FSN performs like an SDC, however, with network-attached storage, virtual device, and file system that dictates the transfer protocol. SMB is a shared resource file system typically used in Windows. Files are shared with the client application that use SMB protocols through the FSN. The FSN employs the NAS container consisting of the NAS server, the SMB or NFS or both file system, and the sharing or export protocol. This allows the FSN to act like a compute node, requesting the data from the volumes connected to the storage pool. The data is then configured as the file share or export to send to the requesting client application. An EPS solution architect and a customer completed the design in EPS Online. The customer wants to perform the automated network check the following week. How does the solution architect enable the customer to perform the check using EPS Online? Do they save the manual network and site check task? Submit the solution into EPS? Submit automated network checks? Or publish the pre-deployment checks report? This question covers the PowerFlex solution design process using the Dell Enterprise Project Services or EPS Online. The question is designed to test your knowledge on capturing a PowerFlex design and validating the design with the customer. The correct answer to this question is the solution architect, acting as the EPS project lead for the solution design, would publish the pre-deployment checks report. By publishing the report online, this triggers EPS Online to allow the customer to automatically have their network check done at their site and uploaded to EPS to validate the network compliance for the design. EPS Online functions differently than the EPS offline version in regard to automated tasks, such as the customer network validation when the solution design, typically a PowerFlex appliance solution, is being validated by the customer. However, in both the offline and online version, a manual check of the network and entry into EPS can be performed. This would require the customer to get the network validation tool, or NVT, from the design project lead. The NVT would generate a report that will need to be sent to the design lead to input manually into EPS, either offline or online. What is the amount of spare space that PowerFlex Sizer assumes? 10%, 11%, 12%, or 15%? The correct answer to this question is 10% spare space per node. Nodes are crucial to the effective virtual storage capacity and performance with efficient IOPS throughput. Knowing how to use the PowerFlex Sizer tool helps the solution architect compare different node configurations that are designed for performance gains and storage capacity. A solution architect uses the simple sizer to input configuration criteria and adds in filters to gather results that meet the customer's need. If the solution architect requires advanced filters, such as replication requirements or host connectivity, then they can apply these filters for reliable results. The PowerFlex Sizer is a tool that estimates PowerFlex Apex block storage, custom node, appliance, and rack node configurations based on inputs and filters. The Sizer has two modes, simple and advanced. Start with the simple Sizer. The advanced Sizer may be used to fine-tune the recommendations. The filters applied to the PowerFlex Sizer will help the tool provide results for the solution architect to evaluate. By clicking on each result, the solution architect conducts the evaluation of the result that balance storage capacity with IOPS performance. A proper evaluation of each result table will indicate that PowerFlex Sizer assumes a spare space capacity of 10% for the nodes. An administrator is creating an NFS export on a PowerFlex system with existing file shares. They're unable to select the NFS option. What is the cause of the issue? Is it the NFS file system is out of available capacity? The NAS server is not joined to the Active Directory? The NFS file system has quotas that are applied? Or the NAS server does not have NFS enabled? The correct answer to this